Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I just thought I'd return to you for this premiere video. Hopefully you will enjoy this premiere video when it comes out Thursday afternoon for P.O.D's new record, Veritas, that I got a chance to listen to. I'm recording this on the 30th, but I'm waiting a few days for this to come out because it's not even close to the release date of this album coming out yet. But it did leak, I will tell you that, a couple days early. So pretty much I'm going to discuss the 11 songs I've listened to for this new P.O.D record and let you know my thoughts on Veritas as a whole album for 35 minutes, so it's not very long, but let's dive right into this album review. Now it starts with Drop featuring Randy Blythe from what's the band's name? Lamb of God. Pretty much, I really enjoyed this track. Sonny's vocals in this track sound really good, and his rap vocals and all that. Aggressive rap vocals sound pretty good. So I'm really digging this track for how it sounds. It's got a lot of good rhythm to it, this track does, and I really dig the song. So 5 out of 5. Pretty strong track, and it was, I think, the first single for this record. I'm not sure. I haven't really followed it. It might have been the first or second, but I only followed up with the last two singles, I Won't Bow Down and Lies We Tell Ourselves, which I'll get to those songs in a moment. I Got That was a pretty good track for how it sounded. Very groovy in a way, and I really enjoyed the rhythm to this track and how it's well mixed and harmonized. The intro to this album was really interesting, with it's starting off with some Spanish ladies talking or whatever in Spanish, and I was like, this is an interesting way to open up the album. And I'll tell you what happens at the end of the review, what closes the album. But pretty much, I Got That is a 5 out of 5. Great track. Really enjoyed this song. Afraid to Die featuring Tatiana from Ginger, the metalcore band. I really enjoyed this track too. This is a really good song. Tatiana sounded really good in this song from time to time with her growls and all that. But overall, this track really impressed me with how it sounded. So, 5 out of 5. Dead Right was pretty catchy for sure of a track. Good drum work, good guitar riffs. Sonny's vocals sounded really good. Even his rap vocals was pretty interesting. So I really enjoyed this track. Another banger for sure. 5 out of 5. Breaking is a pretty strong track too. I really enjoyed this one as well. Pretty much all the songs are amazing for how they sound. So I will give you my rating at the end of the review, basically. But Breaking did have a lot of unique stuff in this track. With how Sonny was singing and rapping and all that stuff. And it really impressed me with his vocal range from time to time. So, really dug this track. So, 5 out of 5. Lay Me Down, Ruse song. Really enjoyed this track. Sounded good when the chorus came in. I really dug the chorus for sure. And overall, the track as a whole impressed me with its mixing, its drum work, guitar work. It was pretty impressive of a song. So 5 out of 5. I Won't Bow Down, great single. Remember listening to this back in February, and I really dug it. Quite an outstanding track. I know it came out in January this year as a single, but I just didn't get around to reviewing it till early February. But overall, great song. 5 out of 5. Sonny's rap vocals were pretty outstanding. The rap metal stuff they do and the alternative metal sounds really good for what they go for with this record, and it's pretty impressive. So 5 out of 5 for I Won't Bow Down. This Is My Life featuring Cove Reber. Another great track for sure. Really enjoyed the vocals from both Sunny and Cove sounding really good. And I really dug this track for how it sounded overall, so this was an outstanding song. I highly recommend you check this song out as one of the regular tracks. So this was pretty good. So 5 out of 5. Lies We Tell Ourselves was one of my favorite songs. I really enjoyed this as a single and as a song itself because it's talking about depression, mental health, and all that, with how we're telling lies to ourselves and trying to cope with what we're dealing with or whatever. But in a way, this track actually works for what it goes for. So I really like Sunny's vocals and his vulnerability in this track. Sounds really amazing with his vocals. So pretty strong track, 5 out of 5, and a great single too. It was one of the last singles for this record to come out before the record comes out, of course, this Friday. So, We Are One, Our Struggle was pretty catchy, for sure, of a track. Wasn't sure if I was feeling for it at first, because the rapping in the verses, but when the chorus came in, it actually sounded pretty good. And it's a little rebellious of a track, but I think in a way, this track works for what it goes for. It's a rebellious kind of song, but in a way, it's fine. Feeling Strange is a strong track, and the outro to it is quite outstanding. Really enjoyed the outro. It started where it began. It began where it ended. Began with the speaking Spanish lady at the beginning of this album and the song Drop, and it ends with her closing it out. I think the song officially ends at 3 minutes and 10 seconds for Feeling Strange, and it's a strong track. I really enjoyed the track as a whole, and it's pretty good. I mean, the mixing for the verses were a little odd, but I think they work in a unique style, and Sunny made it sound good when the chorus came in, so really enjoyed this anthemic chorus for what it went for. 5 out of 5. Overall production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think I found one of my albums of the year as a contender for album of the year, and it's this one. I think P.O.D. Veritas was a strong record, one of the best records I've listened to of 2024. Did not think I'd really get into this band, and I really enjoyed their music. I think they're a very unique band with a lot of talent. And I personally think this is one of my favorite records of 2024 so far, along with Ghost Inside's new record, Searching for Solace. I'm unsure which record's going to be album of the year, but we'll see how the rest of the year goes out. But so far, this one could be the album of the year for P.O.D. Veritas. But I really enjoyed Sunny's rap vocals, his aggressive vocals, and his growls, his clean vocals sounding really good, and overall the production and mixing is pretty strong in this record. So if I were to give this album an overall score, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. A perfect score for a really amazing album. I really enjoyed this record. I wasn't sure if I was on board with the last two songs with how they sounded mixing wise, but those last two songs will grow on me. I know they will. It's just an acquired taste. Like, this record is really strong. It's one of my favorite records so far this year, and it was one of the most hyped up albums to come out for this year, and I'm glad they put out another record, because I think this was one of their best albums, for sure. I haven't heard their whole discography to figure out which one's better, but so far I like this one. Great record. And it comes out this Friday, and definitely pre-order this record. It's worth it. So 10 out of 10 for P.O.D. Veritas for the new album of theirs. Thank you for watching this album review this afternoon.